Okay, good morning all. Today I'll be covering the last part of Java, Advanced Object-Oriented Programming. This has mainly my discussion will concentrate on what is called as lambda expressions, and there is something called as streams. Okay, guys, to tell you very clearly what is required for your final exam, only that part I'll be covering in the today's class. Okay, be very specific about it. I will be covering only that part which is required for your final exam. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, we have something called as lambda expressions in Java. Okay, what is the meaning of this lambda expression? When I talk about a general function, when I talk about a function will have its return type, it has its own name, it has its parameter list, okay, and it has the function body. When I talk about a function, can I write a function in such a manner that that function will act as a skeleton for any kind of implementation that is required? It means what? I will write one function without the name. Okay, I call it as anonymous function. Please do remember when I was talking about thread classes, I did mention about what is called as anonymous thread class. Okay, in the same manner, lambda expressions they help me to create anonymous functions. The same function can be utilized for having the implementation done in many different ways. Okay, this is the major use of lambda expressions. Of course, lambda expressions was not available before Java 8. This has been started after Java 8 got introduced. Okay, now what is this lambda expression? This lambda expression, it is mainly for focuses on what is called as anonymous function. In the coming up slide, I will show you how this is different from the normal function. Okay, so a function will never have a name. It will never have a name. And there is no person who is holding this particular function. It means there is no owner class. But what is called as a function interface, a function available as part of an interface. An interface can hold a function that can be implemented in multiple ways. So two ways are there. Either you define an anonymous function, use it for implementing in multiple ways, or you define a function or you declare a function as part of a functional interface and use that declared function which has the implementation done in multiple ways. Both are allowed. Okay, I will repeat again. Either you define an anonymous function which can be used for implementing the ways in which I want to implement. Okay, or you define an interface containing an abstract function. That abstract function can be called in multiple ways to have the implementation done in multiple ways. In both the cases, I call it as lambda expression. Okay, now the same thing I spoke about. There are two important constructs. One is called as the lambda expression construct, or the second is called as a functional interface. Sooner you will see the different examples on all of these. Okay. Lambda expression is what? It is nothing but anonymous function. Okay. What about these lambda expressions are also called as closures. Okay. They are also called as closures. There is something called as functional interface which always has one and only one abstract method. A functional interface must have one and only one abstract method. It means what? You want to have more than one functional interface. Define multiple interfaces. Okay, so the method that is specified inside this functional interface by default are abstract methods. Okay, examples for such are runnable interface, which has only one method run. Okay, similarly, many such functions, many such interfaces are there. Okay, and this kind of functional interface is called as single abstract method interface. I call it as SAM. S for single, A for abstract, M for method. Such a functional interface which is useful in lambda expressions is called as SAM interface. I call it as single abstract method interface. Okay. Now, with this background, how do we write the Java lambda expression? With what operator I will write? Normally, a lambda expression is written with an operator arrow. Okay, on the left side of the arrow, there is something called as parameters. I specify what is called as parameters on the left hand side of the arrow. So you just have to imagine like this. Lambda expression looks like this. There is an arrow. You write arrow. On the left side of the arrow, there are parameters because there is no function name. Anonymous function name is not there. But what you can have? You can have a collection of parameters, if any. If not, empty brackets, empty pair of common brackets. Then on the right hand side, there is the right hand side contains the expression, single expression it may be, or there may be block of statements which shows the implementation of that particular anonymous function. Okay, so one simple example, simplest to the complex, I will go. One simple example I'll show you. Look at this. If I write only this much, it indicates if there is a function which doesn't accept anything, no parameters, and name is never specified. On the right side, it shows that 123.45. It means what? When I want to use this particular value, you just have to pass without parameters and call that function. How do you do that? Calling of the function we will take up later. Okay. Now this is an example, simplest example, which shows one such lambda expression having no parameters but has only one expression, that is 123.45. Next, this indicates parameter list is empty, but it returns what is called as 123.45. Now there is second example for this. In bracket, x comma y is written. Can you notice one more thing? Is there anywhere data type written? Data type is not required. Lambda expression has an added feature of assuming the types. Based on the values that are supplied for x and y, based on the values that are supplied for the x and y, return statement will be taken. And have I written anywhere return explicitly? Since there is exactly one line of code, there is no return statement required. Assumed directly that lambda expression assumes directly whatever the computation is done or whatever the value is specified, that has to be returned. It is specified implicitly. This is the beauty of lambda expressions. You don't have to write the name of the function. You don't have to write data type of the parameters. You don't have to write explicitly the return statement. And you don't have to bother about what is the return data type. Okay, so all those things are assumed during the runtime. This is how the simplicity of the function writing is done. Now what this does, this particular lambda expression takes two arguments x and y and returns the sum of these. X and y may be of any data type. Okay, a generic lambda expression works like this. Next, Next, you can see I have not given any parameters, but what this does, math.random star 100. So by random nature, random value is generated, and to that multiplied by 100, whatever value goes, that will be returned. Okay, so these are few of the lambda expressions that I have shown. I have not shown any such example of using those lambda expressions. These are specifically lambda expression writing. Okay, next I'll show you. This function accepts one parameter n and checks whether that element entered is even or odd. Is it even? It returns true or false. Okay, so n mod 2 equal to 0, what it returns? What is the data type that it will return? Boolean. So by default, the lambda expression assigns a Boolean return type. Okay, it is assumed implicitly as and when that function is called with respect to what that is called, it assumes. This is the advantage of lambda expressions over the normal functions. Okay, so now I just want to have a comparison between methods and the lambda expressions. Normal method, what it has? It has name of the function, parameter list with the data types, body, then there is a return type. Okay, these are the normal parts of any function that you have in any programming language. But a lambda expression has no name. Function name is not there. Parameter list, it is there. Body of the function, it is there. Either it is a single expression or there may be a block of expressions. Return type, no, you need not mention it. Implicitly the return type will be assigned according to the right hand side that is done. So right hand side, what it returns to, according to that the return type will be assigned implicitly. Any doubt in the kind of introduction that I have given? If you have any doubt, please let me know now only, otherwise I'll proceed. Any doubt? Yes or no?
No, ma'am, no doubt.
No. Okay. Now, I will talk about a bit of functional interface, then I will go to examples. Okay. When I take up a functional interface, what is this functional interface? Two constructs I have talked about. One is anonymous function and second is functional interface having exactly one abstract function. So this is the functional interface that I'll be talking about. With example, I'll explain this. What is this functional interface? It has by default an abstract method and only one abstract method will be declared. For example, I have taken interface, name of the interface is my number. Name of the interface is my number and it has a function get value without any parameters but returning a double. Okay, in this case when I use functional interface, I always prefer to write a normal function declaration, unlike with respect to anonymous function. Anonymous function doesn't require any category of return type, any data type of the parameters. All those things are not there. But when I take up a functional interface to associate it with an abstract method, then I require what is called as return type. Okay, but this get value function can be called with any of the implementation that you want. Implementation details of get value method will vary from one implementation type to another. Okay, now with reference to all these, let me just go to the first example. Okay,
Ma'am,
yeah.
instead of using that interface directly, we can call get value
Definitely,
method, no, ma'am?
definitely. But
Then why we have
but
used?
1 minute, Ramya, let me complete. But what is the issue with the normal anonymous functions? Normal anonymous functions sometimes may be like if it has one expression, two expressions, it will work fine. But you just imagine the complexity involved if you have multiple expressions to be conducted as part of that function. And those expressions will vary from data type, from the parameters that you are passed in the first call and the parameters that you are passed in the second call. Definitely it will vary. If the complexity of the function is much more, functional interface is much preferred than the anonymous functions. Okay, Ramya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, I will take one simple example of get value only. Okay, of get value. What this get value does? Get value will return me the value that I have received in double. Okay, what is the meaning of double? Double indicates I do not, I may have any kind of value that I have got, but I want it to be I want it to be printed in the double format only. Okay, just 1 minute. Guys, these functions or these programs will not work in your normal Java if you have not installed Java 8. Okay, Java 8 and above, if you have installed, only then these programs will work, otherwise they will not work. Please note it before only. Okay, if you're trying with JDK 1.7, it will not work. Okay, JDK which has support of Java 8, only there it will work. Okay, now in this first simple example of lambda expression, I have written one functional interface, the same functional interface I have used, okay, my number, and has an abstract method get value. There is no need of writing abstract explicitly here because by default interface has abstract methods. Okay, now inside this, similar to the other function, other programs, I will write one class. Okay, I will write one class that has a main. This main function is the function which calls either the anonymous function or the function that is being declared as part of a functional interface. Okay, now inside this, what I have done is I have just created an object of the interface my number. I've created an object of the interface my number. Okay, so look at this. This line of code indicates what? This line of code indicates what? It is an anonymous function. I'll repeat again. This line of code indicates an anonymous function. You can just check out. The function doesn't have any parameters. It doesn't have any function name. Please note it down, all of you. Okay, make a note of it. This line of code doesn't have any function name. It has opening and closing brackets empty. This indicates what? This function definition doesn't have any parameters required. The meaning of that is this. On the right hand side of the arrow operator, there is 123.45 written. What is the meaning of this? When you call this function returns 123.45 by default. Whatever value that has been written here, that value is the return value. So when you return something, definitely there has to be a receiving variable. This my_num is a receiving variable. And look at the connection between the interface and this receiving variable. Okay, my_num is a receiving variable. This my_num is receiving 123.45 returned from an anonymous function. And what is this my_num? My_num is an object of interface my number. It's a reference of the functional interface. Okay, so now if I want to print the value that I have received, what I will do is I will write my_num.getValue. I will write my_num.getValue. Okay, if I write my_num.getValue, it will print 123.45. What is this 123.45? It is the value that is returned from an anonymous function. It is returned from an anonymous function, and that I am storing as part of a variable of an interface. That interface has a function, abstract function, which is performing something based on the value returned from anonymous function. This is how the relationship is there in this particular program. You please have to understand here, if this particular interface is not there, imagine if this is not there, you just imagine like this, then you can simply call this function as part of printf, system.out.println, opening and closing common bracket, arrow 123.45. Definitely you can call the anonymous function as part of system.out.println. Then there is no requirement of functional interface. There is no requirement of creation of an object of that particular functional interface. And that object, there is no receiving of the value at all. Are you getting this point, or you have any doubt at this point? Please let me know from your end. What is happening here? The anonymous function is trying to return a value. Here, of course, there is no expression involved. Next example definitely will involve one or the other expression. Okay, that value is returned, and the returned value here I'm trying to store it as part of an object of a functional interface, because functional interface has a method which is using this value. This is how the relationship is there. Any doubt at this point? Please let me know quickly.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Can you trace the program once again, like what step
Okay, I'll go
was
ahead next. I'll go ahead next. Or you want it from the beginning?
no, ma'am. I want to trace this program, what you have
Pura,
shown.
pura, pura, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Prarthana, I'll take your question later. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now what I will do is system.out.println value when I want to print with reference to the object of the interface, I call the get value function. So what this get value does? It returns a double. It returns a double. If you have returned here only 123, suppose, then it will return 123.0000. Okay, based on the return type of this particular abstract method, the value will be printed. Okay, you just imagine if I want to print something like this. I don't want to use that functional interface. You just imagine. Then what is that I will do? I will just comment these two lines. These are not required. And what I will do is I will simply write opening bracket, closing bracket, arrow, and then I will write 123.45. That's it. Okay. So this indicates what? Anonymous function, lambda expression, which has been written, which is returning. Okay, but now since there is an interface which has printing of the value is being taken care by the functional interface function get value, that's why I need to have a variable declared of that particular interface, and that variable will act as the receiving variable. Okay, now you just check a more complex expression. I'll give, there is one more anonymous function on the right hand side of this. I'm doing this in the PPT. Whatever I have used no as examples, all those I have used here. Math.random star 100, it means what? Randomly a number gets generated, to that 100 is multiplied, and that gets returned to what? My num. My num goes to get value. Okay, with reference to that, if I print my num dot get value, now my num is associated with the value that is returned by this particular anonymous function. Okay, and if I call once more randomly, next time second random number gets generated, to that 100 is multiplied, that value gets printed. So you can associate abstract method of interface to n number of anonymous functions, n number of anonymous functions. Okay, you can even write opening bracket, closing bracket, in between that x plus x comma y, arrow x plus y. If I write x plus y, whatever value that is computed, that is returned to my num. I will write if you want. Okay, suppose I write my num equal to opening bracket x comma y, arrow, I will write x plus y. So what this does, x plus y gets calculated and that value is returned to my num. My num calls get value method. So what this get value does? Simply returns the value that it has received. Okay, this is how anonymous function is related to functional interface. Okay, now any doubt at this point? Okay, now this line of code, this line of code is very important. I have commented that line of code. My num is trying to receive 123.03 in double quotes. If I write, what is the meaning of it? It's a string. And my num would have received a string, not an issue. It goes back to interface, functional interface. And with reference to get value, it has to return a double. But what value it has received? String. In this case, it will throw an error. In this case, it will throw an error. Okay. So please let me know from your end any doubt you have. Any doubt?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have one doubt here. Like, we have
Hmm?
written my num equal to that x comma y, passing the
Yeah.
parameters, right?
Yeah.
Here we are using like function interface, right? So that we can pass the parameters in the get value method. But if we don't use the functional interface, then how to pass those parameters?
See, now what I will do is just pay attention here. Whatever question you have asked, for that I will answer like this. See, random value, I have printed mynum dot get value. Okay, this mynum would have got the most recent value that it has. Okay, out of these two, which is the most recent? Which is the most recent? X plus y is the most recent. So you do hundreds of times the printing, which is the most recent value is there, no? That value gets printed. So obviously I cannot write it continuously like this. I should write it like this. I'll just cut this. As soon as you compute, because it is anonymous, okay, it cannot retain the value. It simply cannot retain the value. Once it has returned, it would have been done already. Okay, now if I try to print it, now it is fine. Now it is fine. But if I do two things at a time and try to print two times, both the times the same value gets printed. And you have asked me a question, get value function, can it be passed with the parameters? If you pass get value with the parameters, what will happen is, sometimes it may so happen that get value function need not be passed with the parameters, because who is taking care of the value? The value is taken care by the lambda expression, which is written as part of the main. You don't put the burden of holding the value, carrying on the value to the abstract method that is available as part of the interface. Abstract method that is available will only sit back and it does only returning parts in this example. If you pass the value to that, definitely this will never be useful for you. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. But we like in the first only, if we use this method, and which values will be taken?
Pardon?
If we use it first, like before doing all those things, like mynum dot get value, it will hold the previous values, right? So if I call it initially, then what are the values that it
Like
will hold?
over here, it will have a different value. Over here, it will have a different value. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I initially if I just called that method, like before that you have declared it, na mynum
before
dot
doing this, if you want to print, that's what is
yeah.
your question? Okay, definitely it will not
Before
have any
that,
value.
okay, then what if like I want this values to be added, like do I
And
need to initialize
Varshini, you
specify
just wait. I will take such examples. Just wait.
okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if we typecast abstract class string or to double, then it will not throw error. Okay. For this line, I think Ajay has commented. If we do the typecasting for the abstract class, where is abstract class? First of all, Ajay, there is no abstract class. There is an interface which has an abstract method. Okay, and string to double, for once you have written a abstract method, that you cannot typecast. This is abstract method written already, so it is the skeleton of that method. Once you have declared it, it has to work it like this. That's why it will throw error. How about anonymous functions? Anonymous functions, they don't have any kind of return type, then it will work fine. Okay, so you cannot. Yeah. Next, second example I'll take. Okay, in
Ma'am,
this, yeah,
ma'am,
who is
how do we
speaking?
pass the values to X and Y? Ramya, ma'am.
Ramya, you just wait. Okay,
Yes,
another 5 minutes, all those doubts will be clarified too. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Now, what I have done is I have taken one more interface by name numeric test. Okay, guys, the first example was not having Varshini answer to your question also and Ramya answer to your question also. Okay, initially I will just go back again to the first example. Okay, 1 minute. Uh-oh. Okay, when I go back to this particular interface, you can just check I had a one particular method. That method was not having any kind of parameter passed here. Okay, but the values that were getting returned are differing. are getting deferred. Okay. Now what is done is, now with the parameters I will talk about. Okay. This particular interface which I have written in the second example, it talks about one such abstract method which always returns a Boolean value, has a single parameter n. Varshini, I think the thing that you were asking for is being taken care here. Okay. Now, inside the main, I have created an object. See, either you can create an object of that particular interface as I have done in the previous example, or you can very well go ahead with the interface name. I think this you have done many a times in most of the examples. Class you can use directly. Okay, scanner space sc is equal to new scanner. So we used to do that so many times. Okay, directly you can write the interface name space. This is an object. Okay, object of what? The interface that you have created. The interface that you have created, for that this is even is an object, equal to, this is the right hand side of the equal to. It means what? Whatever value that I have written as part of the lambda expression, whatever it returns, that will be stored as part of is even. Okay. Now on the right hand side of the equal to sign, I have an anonymous function. I have an anonymous function. This anonymous function is reading like this. It has a single parameter n, data type unknown, which does this. What it does? It just divides by 2 and checks for the remainder equal to 0 or not. So it means what? When I write double equal to, by default the value returned is Boolean. By default the value returned is Boolean. Yes or no, it is true or false. Okay. So that value gets stored as part of is even. That value gets stored as part of is even. Now, this is even is used for checking. What is that checking I am doing? Just have a look at this line of code. Is even dot test of 10. What is that I'm doing? I'm passing the value as a parameter to this test. Who is this test? Test is an abstract method as part of numeric test. And how I have the accessibility to numeric test? Through the object of that interface. So is even dot test. Previously how I had done? My num dot get value. Their get value was not in requirement of any parameter because there is no checking at all. Their get value was only doing the printing, Here it is trying to pass that as part of the parameter, and that parameter is taken care here. Look at the relation between Look at the kind of the relation that is established between the anonymous function and the parameter passing technique. Previously, the anonymous function was non-parameterized, and the abstract method that was there, that was also non-parameterized. But here, test is parameterized and this anonymous function is also parameterized. This is how they are related. You might ask me a next question immediately. This abstract method, if it has 5 parameters, whether the anonymous function also must have 5 parameters, it is not so. It's not so. But the kind of the parameter that anonymous function is using, that must match with at least one of the parameters of that particular function. Only then you can pass this value as testing. Otherwise you will not. Otherwise you cannot. Okay. So when I write is even dot test of 10, how this goes? Is even definitely would go to here. Okay. Test of 10. So 10 gets passed. It means what? Test of 10 gets passed. En is supplied as 10 here. N is supplied as 10. So who all are related? The variable of the interface is related by this. So when I call test of 10, it means that this n gets replaced by 10. This is how they are related. Varshini, I think you have got the answer for your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, 10. 10 mod 2 will return true. So in that case, 10 is even is printed. Okay. Now, not of is even dot test of n. See, you can pass what you can do is, instead of passing the values directly, you can very well read it from the user, and that value you can pass definitely. Okay, but here for the simplicity I have passed the values directly. Now you want to check it is not even, so not is even dot test of 9, then you print this. Okay, it means what? Instead of writing if else, I have written if and if. Definitely you have an option called if else. Okay, so when it returns true, if true, then this gets printed. Else, n is not an even number. Okay, any doubt over here? So that I can proceed. The same numeric test interface, test function can be used also for doing something else. Okay. Okay, now I'll give you something like this. Write a Java program to have the lambda expressions having one parameter which helps me to find whether the entered number is positive or negative and whether that entered number is even or odd. If I ask you something like this, both the things you can do in the single program. Okay, how? Using two lambda expressions. This is one such lambda expression which you have. But using the same functional interface, same method, you can very well write numeric test is negative or is positive equal to n in bracket arrow n less than 0, n less than 0. When you write n less than 0, it indicates that whether n is less than 0 or not. If n is less than 0, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Okay, so same thing can be used for writing negative, non-negative. Okay, here I have taken is a non-negative in bracket n, arrow n greater than equal to 0, then I call it as non-negative or positive. Okay, then how do I check it? Is non-negative dot test of 1. Then is non-negative of -1. -1 is negative. Are you getting this or any doubt you have? Please let me know from your end.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
when we pass n, first it will go to test in bracket int n, no, ma'am. Then it will come to the anonymous class.
true.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I got it.
Hmm.
Ma'am, in the previous
Example.
in program, we have
Hmm.
written x plus y, that anonymous class, no, ma'am. But we
Hmm.
don't have parameterized
Correct. Correct.
function in the interface.
Correct.
So we
So it
have
will
to
throw error.
read. No,
You
ma'am.
have to read the
I
values
can't
of x and
read
y.
x and y.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
ma'am.
Otherwise, it will throw error.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. Okay. One more example I'll take. Yeah. With two parameters now. Yeah. With two parameters. So now, same example. Test is the same function, but now with two parameters. Fine. Over here, I just want to check with these two parameters whether n is a factor of d or not. Okay, how do I check whether n is a factor of d? Whether n is divisible by d or not. Okay, so I'll check is factor equal to n comma d, arrow n mod d equal to 0. So it returns either true or false. Then is factor dot test of 10 comma 2. 2 is a factor of 10. Otherwise, print it is not a factor of 10. Similarly, I have passed 10 comma 3. 3 is not a factor of 10 or 10 is not a factor of 3. Okay, I think now you can understand it very easily. Or you have any doubts? If you want me to go through this line by line, I'll go through. But since first and second I have covered it thoroughly, you can understand it very well. Please let me know from your end. Can I proceed ahead? Say yes or no, yeah? Okay, yes. Now, yeah. Till now, what you have seen is on the right side of the lambda expression, you have exactly one line of code. Okay. Now, if I want to have more than one line of code, it is a block of codes. Okay. Let's suppose n is given. For the value of n, I want my anonymous function to go for writing table of that number. Okay, and using the same value, it has to print me whether the factorial of that number. Okay, using the same value, it has to print me the Fibonacci series up of that many number of elements. Okay, so you can very well go for similar to the anonymous classes that you have seen in thread classes. Similar to that, here you can have n number of implementations done on the right hand side of the arrow operator. Okay, now I have taken one n, and that n is used in computing the factorial. Okay, so what happens? I have declared a numeric interface, written a function. Okay, and that function is receiving one argument. Okay, now I've created the first reference of the interface as factorial, which is equal to n arrow. On the right hand side, since more than one line of code is there, I will write opening curly brace. Between the opening and closing curly brace followed by semicolon, I will write the multiple lines of code that needs to be written. And when you are writing multiple lines of code, there is a must and should return statement. Why? Because the compiler will not understand which line is written to be returned. Okay, so in the block of code, instead of a single statement, if you have a block of code in lambda expressions, you have to write the return statement explicitly. Okay, whereas a single line of statements that you used to use, there the return statement was by default. Whatever value that line of code is computing, that value gets returned. Okay, but here in this case, since multiple lines of codes are there, which value to be returned, that needs to be specified explicitly, and that's why return result is written explicitly. And this anonymous class we used to write in threads. Similarly, the anonymous class, when it ends, I will write a semicolon. Similar to that, anonymous function ends with a semicolon if it has more than one line of code. More than one line of code. Okay, I think I'm left out with only 5 minutes in this class. Please join back if it ends in between. Okay, please join back, because today will be my last class. I will not take any more classes. Okay, if you want me to take any class, I will organize only then, otherwise no. Then factorial of 3, factorial of 5, I have printed. Similarly, this n can be used for computing, for printing the table of that number. Okay, so this is how the multiple lines of codes is written as part of lambda expressions. Yes, any doubt at this point? Let me know quickly. Okay, this is very important concept that I'll be covering. Probably you have to join back. Okay. So shall we join back after 5 minutes? Please let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
11:50. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.